Hello and welcome to GCU's Canyon Professional Development STEM Leadership Cadre Series. We are kicking off a brand new year, rebranding our STEM Leadership Cadre to add the word coaching, STEM Leadership Coaching Cadre, to make sure that our teachers in Arizona and beyond understand that we are here to support you in your journey in STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math, and much more. Without further ado, let's get started with our STEM Leadership Coaching Cadre's first showcase of this year. We're going to go to the White Mountain Nature Center. And yes, if you can tell by my shirt, we're going to learn a little bit about birds today. And beyond that, we're going to show you how you might bring this into your classroom. So thanks for being here, and we'll get started with the show. Welcome to our STEM Leadership Cadre Showcase event up here at the White Mountain Nature Center. My name is Corey Araza, and I'm your host. I'm going to put these glasses back on because it's pretty bright out here. And really, the star of the show is coming out of this nature center right now. This is Kal Mannis, STEM guru for all rural STEM teachers, educators, and if you look at his t-shirt, that kind of just tells you the whole story about Kal. So we're going to be talking more about where we are, and we're going to end up with a Raptor show. So without further ado, let me introduce Kal. So good to have you here and be our host today. So tell us where we are and where we're going.
Thanks, Corey. Hi, everybody. So my name is Kal Mannis. I'm actually the Senior Director for Rural Engagement with the Arizona Science Center.
Oh, I like the STEM guru, though.
Yeah.
STEM guru for all things rural, but yes, I like your title, too.
And I am a resident of Southern Apache and Navajo counties most of the year. We are in Pinetop, Arizona, which is about 3 hours to the east of the Phoenix Valley and several thousand feet higher. We're at the White Mountain Nature Center, which is a program started by a group of teachers originally, and we met in a tent from May to October, because in October started to snow and May got warm enough to be outside, because it's a little chilly here in the winter. That's why they call it the White Mountains, because it snows. We have kind of transitioned to a building, and this is our headquarters.
There it is.
It was at one time a 3-bay.
There's a garden over here too.
3-bay tractor trailer repair location, and we have done a little bit of work. So here's a pollinator garden. Looking at it in the
a beautiful lake this way.
Right. So we sit on about 13 acres. It includes forested trails. This is a part of the ponderosa pine forest. There's oak this time of the year because we've had so much rain, lots of wildflowers. Migratory birds come in on the lake. And we have a beaver dam up here, which is very cool.
Yeah.
So it's surprising, but this is a heavily wooded area, very significantly cooler than most of the lower lying parts of the populated parts of the state, and just a beautiful part of the state to come to.
It's gorgeous. There's so many benches along the route there at this hike around the riparian area. So we're gonna head inside because we don't want to miss the Raptor show that will start here pretty soon. It's every day at 3 o'clock. Is that right, Kal?
Every day, 365 days a year, because it's the feeding time.
Ooh. And we're going to show you a little bit about that in a little bit.
So we're going to introduce Sally Jostis, who's the operations manager.
Awesome.
For the Nature Center, and take a look around both in our public areas.
Sounds great.
We're going to go outside.
Okay. Sounds great. We're going to do that right now. Here we are coming in the door of the White Mountain Nature Center. You can see the turtles. That was the first thing that I got really excited about when I started to walk in the door. Lots of fun for the little ones as well. So we'll move over here. This is the star of the show. This is Sally.
Hi.
So you can say hi to Kat. Yeah, Catherine's on board here from Surprise, Arizona. So she's checking it out from Surprise.
Hi.
How are you?
Good, good.
Good.
And
So,
Sally's super, super friendly.
So we have a number of displays up here, some of which were from a Game and Fish bone box, which you can see we have skull samples, pelts. We work with the White Mountain Audubon Society, and this is as is fairly obvious, this is a conservation site. So ecology and conservation are our big focus, as well as understanding the animals that we live with. So that's what a big part of our Raptor program. So it's an educational program around the birds.
Not to mention handcrafts. I can see this, there's a lot of cool woodworking on birds and the animals that they conserve, working with conservation, as well as an awesome gift shop. So fun stuff in there as well. So you got to come up and check out some of their amazing White Mountain goodies.
One of the things that we do have is a lot of supports for folks that are coming up here. Maybe have never been here before. There's over 200 miles of hiking trails. And so there are maps here for the hiking trails. There's an environmental study area right nearby called Big Spring. So there's a number of programs from the USDA and the Forest Service that we have available for folks that come up. Also watching guides and birding guides. Lots of migratory birds in the area, as well as elk and deer, wildcats, and all kinds of small furry critters.
Small furry critters, all
Javelina.
oh, and coyotes and javelina. So we're not strangers to those animals down in the desert, but it's a lot cooler up here too in the summer, isn't it, Sally?
Oh, much cooler, yes. I moved up here 5 years ago from the valley. I lived in Scottsdale before I moved up here.
Okay.
So I'm very familiar with the heat there. And but winters are beautiful down there.
And are you volunteer here or are you on
started out
staff?
as a volunteer, and the person that was in charge got sick, so I ended up taking her place.
Mm.
I started out volunteering to help her, and see what happens when you volunteer. You become a full-time person. It's hard.
Well, we thank you for being here. Thank you so much, Sally. And we're gonna go, we're gonna keep going through. And thank you again. We'll go see the Raptors.
So we have a small library of environmental books. Mainly they stay here for people to use as references. And then
And now,
this is our major public space that's inside. It's about 3,000 square feet, carpeted. It's got a computer system and projector. We host lectures here on the weekends, and there is also a mobile planetarium that's part of the Nature Center, which takes up about a third of this space. It's huge.
and for those of you who don't know what that mobile planetarium is, we said, well, where is it? Well, it's actually in storage. It's like a blow up planetarium. So
Right.
for those of you who don't know what that is, but that's so great to be able to bring it here to the White Mountains. So kids up here can experience.
Kids and adults. So,
Kids of any age can experience.
and so what we've done is along the perimeter, part of the perimeter of this room, is we have displays showing off different aspects of nature. So we have rocks from the regional gem and mineral club, put that together. The Audubon Society has put together a display of nests and nesting materials. We also have silicone imprints for paws that you can use.
Those are fun. Silicone imprints for paws.
To make paws. You take plaster of Paris and you make your own, basically your own tracks, and then you can do a track activity. So we have different activities that you can do with that. We have a number of.
We missed the rocks. I just want to show you guys. So some rocks and minerals. You can bring your students or your own children. Nests, which is kind of a theme, the birding theme.
We also have, these are sherds from ancient peoples that lived in this area. And the area was inhabited by a number of different folks over the years. And you can notice unique designs are actually indicative of the different cultures that have been up here. So also the colors.
So really just a whole plethora of different kinds of STEM lessons that you could kind of start with here.
Right. And really we're focused on ecology and conservation. And so part of that is knowing about the world around you and the world that we share with other animals. So this is a good step on it. Also, if you ever wanted to do tracking, learn how to track different types of animals, this is what you would use to learn the different tracks. You can also take these, so I did this with my students, is I would make these and then imprint these into sand, like a sand table, and the kids would have to figure out what animals.
Oh, that's fun.
Or take it outside in the mud.
Oh, of course.
Push them in the mud. It's really fun.
Kids love the mud. I love the mud. Like I
Play in
said,
the mud
kids
all
of
the time.
any age.
This is a pine forest. So pine cones. These are actually pine cones from a variety of different places. And then we have, like I said earlier, Game and Fish has gifted us with a bone box. And so in the Game and Fish bone box, you will find pelts of the animals from Arizona. So we saw the skulls a few minutes ago. These are the pelts. And there's beaver pelt, there's coyote. So a variety of different, these are wild cats. So you can actually see what the fur and the hair is like, because it's very different
Touch and feel.
depending on the different animal. We have racks of different types of deer-like animals as well. So internally, we have a number of tools that can be used, especially with form and function. When you're talking about form and function and why certain animals are adapted to certain environments, then you look at their skulls, you look at their pelts, you look at the way their feet are created. All of those pieces go into that kind of the visceral understanding of why they are found where they're found.
Not only is that interesting, but again, you're taking the ecology, the environment from here, the White Mountains, and you're sharing with your students this area. So even if you're bringing your students up for a field trip, like say for the summer, or maybe in the springtime, they too need to understand that this exists in Arizona and that.
And there are wild animals that live up here. So we have bears.
You mean the
and-
students?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
sorry.
So we do have bears up in this area. We do have mountain lions. We do have coyotes and javelina, but there are the animals that live in the woods and the forest are wild. It's not a zoo.
Huh.
So
Just like the beavers, there's beavers out in the lake today, but they didn't want to come to play. And Joe said, well, I guess it's not a zoo. I guess we can't expect the beavers to come out when we want them to. But that's okay. Well, so thank you, Cal. Are we going to head outside now
we
or?
are going to head outside.
Okay.
So the White Mountain Nature Center has an interesting program with raptors, so birds of prey. And currently they're in a temporary facility that used to be our raptor rescue site. We're in the process of building a new raptor enclosure and environment. So we're going to go outside. We're going to look at the new raptor enclosure. It's opens on the 21st of October, which will be our 20th anniversary as the Nature Center,
Okay, mark your calendars, the 21st of October.
right? So
All
we're
right.
going to go outside. We'll look at the construction site, and then we're going to go and look at one of the raptor shows.
Okay, and as we head outside, we're going to show you this awesome facility. We kind of looked at it briefly, but coming from, you really do have a lot of good space here. So, Cal, one question, like, let's say I wanted to have a, but right now we're having our STEM leadership retreat. Is that a possibility for other schools, or is that something that they would talk to Sally
So
about?
they would talk to Sally, and then
Yes.
there is a use charge, a small use charge.
Okay.
For the facility, and
As there should be.
it goes.
And that goes
pay
to help
utilities.
pay the utilities and help bring the Raptor show to us. So that's fantastic. So I don't know that anybody knew that that was even a possibility, but to bring students up, or maybe even a teacher retreat or administrative. I mean, I think a lot of administrators would love to come up and maybe use the space.
It's a beautiful space to
We
use.
have a
Yeah.
great space now that we've got carpeting and audio visual equipment and a
Yeah.
lot of new improvements.
It's just beautiful in here, and it's just a very roomy, very comfortable. So not all, and you're right in the middle of the beautiful mountains. So
That's right.
okay,
Let's
so we're
go.
heading outside. Thank you, Sally, for being so hospitable.
Thank you, John, because he's waiting.
Oh, John is. Okay, so hopefully you're not getting dizzy if you're online with us here. But Cal and I are gonna walk you as quickly as possible over to the Raptor show, the temporary Raptor
For site.
site. And we're walking by what you can see is the new site that's almost finished. So
You see the screening on top? It's made of steel. And we do that because it snows here quite a lot in the wintertime. And the snow is often really wet. And so anything made it less than heavy metal will not work. It will fold, it will fall apart. The other
any
thing is
problem
that-
with rust?
Right. The other thing is we're about 7,000 feet in elevation. And so the UV light is pretty intense here. And that will eat through plastic
Cool.
pretty fast. So that's why we use metal.
Okay, we can't eat through plastic.
And it will make plastic opaque and then very brittle. So, I learned when I moved up here in the 90s by personal experience.
Okay, we are heading in now to the Raptor show.
Hi, welcome.
Hello, and thank you so much. You are so special today because we are behind the scenes for the Raptor show, the daily Raptor show that is at 3 o'clock, which we're probably late. We apologize. But if you all haven't been through the White Mountain Nature Center, do that on your way out.
Great idea. Thank you. Okay, we're going to start with Azul. My name is John, and this is Belinda. We are certified professional bird trainers. You've never met anybody like us. In the back today, we have Barbara and Sherry. They are extremely important because they are our two volunteers. We have two every day, different ones, and we're going up to 3 as we move into our new facility. They do one of the most important jobs possible, and that's keep these birds healthy by cleaning their enclosures. Let's go ahead and start with Azul.
All right, so Azul is an American crow. Now, crows aren't necessarily considered raptors just yet. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. But they are very fascinating animals. So we're going to start with Azul. Azul, can you come over here? Can you say hi? No cheating. Can you say hi? Very nice, Azul. Now, Azul thinks she's pretty funny. She loves to laugh. Yeah. Very nice, very nice. And she can even do impersonations. She can impersonate a Harris Fox. Nice talk, Azul. So Azul learned all of those on her own. We did not teach her how to do any of the vocalizations. All we did was put them on cue. Just point all the stuff we missed. Oh my goodness, we'll do that. Okay, so Azul gets her name, which means blue in Spanish, because when she came to the rehab facility in Phoenix when she was young, she didn't have her flight feathers. And
Better give her the green thing.
and Corvids, which is the family she's in, have blue eyes. So she had really pretty blue eyes when she came in, and that's how she got the name Azul. She gets the name Azul, the recycling crow, because she recycled.
Good job, Azul. All right.
I did get extras. So she also has her own personal bin for aluminum foil. Did we take care of that? Good job, Billy. Let's go over here so maybe these people can see it. Do another one over here. Nice, very nice. Good job, Azul. So that behavior that she does, taking something and putting it somewhere else, particularly if you hide it somewhere else, that's called caching. They do that naturally in the wild. They cache their food, cut it up in little pieces, put some here, put some there. They hide it in snow, rocks, dirt, whatever it is. And they can find it months later. They're very, very intelligent. So we thought we would take advantage of that behavior and have her cache her cash. This is how she keeps the lifestyle she's accustomed. She loves her worms, very nice. If anybody has any bills that are burning a hole in their pockets, she will gladly take them off your hands.
There we go. Just put them through the net.
Oh,
Thank you.
Okay, here's your donations.
Fabulous. So
Anybody
the
else?
people in Sweden have taken advantage of this behavior with their wild crows. They have taught their wild crows to pick up cigarette butts on the ground, put it in a receptacle, spits out a nice little treat, and they now estimate saving $1 million a year in street sweep up services.
Thank you.
Soul says thank you for your donation. This is a great way to have a donation center at your school. Maybe think about bringing a Soul. We'll ask if that can happen. I doubt it, but she's making a lot of money.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much. Whatever you donate today, whether it's to the Crow, if you buy something in the store over there, you make any kind of donation, it goes directly to the care and feeding of the animals. We are all volunteers here. Nice catch, that was a big catch. So crows are considered the smartest of all avian species. Their brain to body mass ratio is much larger than most avian species. In fact, they say it's larger than some humans. So they are supposed to be as smart as about a 7-year-old. So we thought we would give that a test. Nice.
Okay, I'm out of money, so you go
There
ahead.
we go. We thought we'd test her out that this season with some shades. So we can see. You. Good job, so can you do another one? Something other than easy circle? Can you do that? So crows being very smart, they are self-aware. They can build tools, they solve puzzles just like this to get food, and they even have funerals for friends and family. Oh, maybe jump one. Come back up here. Let me try one more. I got a little goodie for you here. Oh, you like those triangles too. That's a little triangle and a, there you go. Yay, nice. So she can put every single piece in there. See her put every single piece plus 2 rocks and a piece of paper. She knows how to do it. So all of our animals, yeah, you're gonna break it. Up over there, stay there. All of our animals get enrichment every day because they are in captivity. They don't get to do things that they would naturally do in the wild. So Azul here is a forager. So me tossing her mealworms doesn't allow her to forage for her food. So we have we allow the community to help us with the enrichment, and every 4th Thursday of the month at the Nature Center. We actually have a happy hour. What is it? Every 4th Thursday, 5 p.m. at the Nature Center, we have happy hour essentially, and then we make some enrichment items for the birds. So I'll show you what she's getting, but right now she will open her egg. Whoop, whoop, whoop. There we go. Nice job, Azul. She does get a chance to forage for some of her food. She is also getting, what do we got today, Azul? Right. So she will have to figure out how to get this ribbon off, untie the ribbon to get the pieces of blocks off, and then she'll have to dig in here and find out where the tree is. All right.
So she will pull out every single piece of paper that's in there. She'll shred it. She'll put it in her water dish. She'll shred it some more. She'll put it up on her perch, against her walls, across the floor. By the time she's done, the next morning, it looks like we had a frat party last night. And our 2 volunteers, that's the first thing they do is they go in there and they clean up that. They also clean up all the white gravel that they might find with the kitty litter scoop. They put that in an orange, you can see it right here, cement mixer. We mix that with chlorine bleach and churn it with water 6 or 7 times until it is clear. And that way we know the gravel is safe to put back in. It's left to dry out there for a week and then it goes back in. We do that with every bird every day.
She's also a thief. They're very.
Oh yeah, they'll steal. When we were in Phoenix, I put up a sign on her enclosure, do not put money anywhere near this bird. I think she made almost $200 that first week.
All right, well, we're gonna have to get the other piece. You may have lost her. Oh, look.
She lost her arm. Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay,
Definitely
here
one
goes
thing.
Sweetie.
John's gonna have to take her back and John can start with the next bird. There we go.
Wow,
Sue.
you're getting robbed blind.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna bring out RTH Speedwagon. RTH Speedwagon. Well, you've heard of the name REO Speedwagon. We just talked about that. So REO Speedwagon is a band, right? You know how they got that name? So they were sitting in a waiting room and they opened up a magazine and there was an advertisement for an REO Speedwagon. And they said, you know what, that'd be a great name for our band. So they just picked up the name. REO, do you know what that stands for? Anybody? Ransom Eli Olds, that's correct. You're the first person ever. Your car gun. So Ransom Eli Olds was the founder of Oldsmobile Motor Company who made that car. None of this has anything to do with RTH Speedwagon, our red-tailed hawk. I just thought it was interesting and you guys learned something. So we're done. So RTH Speedwagon was at a rehab facility in Pennsylvania. And they sent out an email to all the professional bird trainers in the country. And they said, if you want a red-tailed hawk, all you have to do is say you want him. He is 1 year old, perfectly healthy, wonderful ambassador for his species. Just raise your hand. So up went my hand. They send him over to us. He came in a crate. I opened up the crate and Speedy, as we call him, walked out of his crate and stood there. Now, what's wrong with that picture? Anybody? He wasn't flying. He was a 1 year old, perfectly healthy red-tailed hawk. They can fly 120 miles an hour. So to have him walk out of a crate, we're like, uh-oh. So I picked him up and did a physical exam and found that the keel muscle that goes down the middle of his chest, that is supposed to be huge and strong because that's what pulls the wings down when he flaps. He didn't have any muscle there. It was like Jello gelatin. I could tell where it was supposed to be, but no muscle. So he may have been in a crate for his entire first year of life. We don't know that for sure, but that's how it seemed. We do know we had to teach him how to fly. There he goes. So there's Speedy. Now we don't call him Speedy because he's particularly fast. I might have mentioned red tails can fly 120 miles an hour, but in the bird world, that is not particularly fast. What he can do, he can catch, kill, and eat rattlesnakes as part of his normal diet. There are very few animals in the world that can do that. How does he do it? He lands near a rattlesnake, wiggles his wingtip, or waits for it to strike towards him. It takes a 30th of a second for a snake to go from foiled to biting you. Okay, a 30th of a second. In that time frame, he can grab it by the head. And that's what he's going to demonstrate right now. Well, that didn't take long. Good job, Speedy, I think. Here. There's a reward for you. You want to let go? No, he doesn't. There you go. Okay, catch the snake again for these people to see. Good. Lightning fast feet, lightning fast. And you do notice he's got it by the head. We did not teach him that. That is totally instinctive. One more time. Let's do it one more time. Okay, here we go. Good. So if he wants a snake, he's going to get the snake. Now the problem for him is letting go of the snake. Red-tailed hawks or young raptors have something called sticky foot. Sticky foot. That means that they can ratchet down on something easily and hold it. Good. He's got a 45-pound grip in each of his talons. So if he pulls that tendon up his leg, it's ratcheted, it's in a ratcheted sheath, and it locks. To let go, he has to mentally think about relaxing his leg. Now, if you've got a rattlesnake by the head, are you going to think about relaxing? I hope not. That would be silly. So he doesn't think about relaxing. He's got that grip and can't let go. Now, for red-tailed hawks, that might mean they'll stick to the perch they're on, and they'll fly off and land on the ground accidentally. But for bald eagles, that can be fatal because the bald eagle eats mostly fish. Oh, Belinda's flying him into his crate. All of our birds are taught to crate. That is a foundational behavior here. And the reason we do that is our goal is to fly every bird outside free with no tethers or anything like that. To get them back, we use the crate. We open the crate door and they learn to go in the crate for a reward. And that's how we get them back here. Okay? So he did a good job. That has been very challenging for him. As you can imagine, if you were in a crate for a year, going back in a crate might be difficult. But he did well. Look at his left foot. See how it's clenched? That's the sticky foot I was mentioning. Now, for a bald eagle, that could be really bad because they eat mostly fish. They land on a fish in a river or a lake. If it's this big, no problem. They fly off with it. Oh, thank goodness. Okay, thank you for warning me. If they land on a fish that's that big, it might be a struggle to get it out of the water. What if they land on a fish that's that big? Young bald eagles have no idea how big of a fish they can carry. So again, they're holding a fish. They've got that ratcheted 150 to 300 pound grip in each foot. They're holding the fish. It's trying to get away. You think they're going to relax? No. So what quite often happens is the fish will go down into the water and the eagle will be drowned. And that happens way too often. I have exactly two pieces. Well, one piece really. Okay, so we're going to bring Speedy over here. Good job. You might have noticed I went like this. That's the cue for him to come there. Belinda's going to do the same thing, perch to perch to perch. And yes, he does have eyes like a hawk. A red-tailed hawk can see a ground squirrel that's only 4 or 5 inches long and is brown on a brown desert floor from 1,300 feet up. I can see a school bus from 1,300 feet. And it's getting worse. I can't see it as well. Any questions about Speedy, the red-tailed hawk? We're going to wait until our construction is complete before we start taking animals outside. Okay, I'm going to play a couple sounds. Any idea what that was? It's a bird. Okay, we're done with this game.
Feel free to put your answer in the chat.
That was fun. That lady knows her bald eagles. That is a bald eagle. So the first sound you heard was a red-tailed hawk. The second sound you heard was a bald eagle. All of our lives,